So our first category is condensing logarithms. This is going to be kind of like a new topic. So we'll do a few examples. We'll do maybe like 6 examples so that you can see how the pattern goes, but I think you will catch on pretty quickly. So we have log A minus Z log B. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let me write out those, like the condensing rules, okay? So I will use letters for this. If you have something like A times log B, this is the same thing as log B to the power of A. I think we have seen this before, like in the very beginning when we started doing logarithms, we kind of went this way, but I'm just telling you these are equivalent. So if you're condensing it, we're going to be going that way, okay? So if you have something multiplied to your logarithm, that means that value of your logarithm should be raised to the power of the thing that's in the front, okay? And then another rule of logarithms, let me write it on a separate line. This one is going to be like this, log A plus log B. This should give you log AB, like log of AB. So if 2 logs are being added and they share the same base, remember they have to have the same base. So in this case, they're both base 10. Then you can combine them by doing A times B. And then lastly, if we're not adding it and we're subtracting it, and of course, make sure they have the same base. So these are both base 10. This would give you log, well, the opposite of adding is subtracting, and the opposite of multiplying, which we did over here, opposite of multiplying would be dividing. So A divided by B, okay? So I think these are the 3 basic log rules. I'll give you guys a moment to write it down because these are important, okay? So write these down. All right, so log A minus Z log B. So let's first condense the Z log B portion. I'm gonna write the work for it over here just because I have space. So log A minus, so when we have a Z in the front over here and it's Z log B, we can actually raise B to the power of Z. So log of B to the power of Z. That's a Z, not a 2, okay? These are all letters. So log A minus log B to the power of Z. And then finally, we can condense these because they have the same base. They're both base 10. And so since they're being subtracted, we can do log of A on top. So the first one goes on top. This A was first, it goes on top, divided by B to the power of Z. I crossed it this time because I don't want it to look like a 2. Okay, there we go. So our final answer is log A over B to the power of Z. Are there any questions on this one? All right, last thing is just to type it in. So look, they already gave us the log, so I'm not going to type the word log again. I'm just going to have to type my A over B to the power of Z. So A over B to the power of Z. Remember, they already typed log for you. Don't type it again. You don't want log of log. Okay, so next problem. Now let's clear all those annotations because they're just kind of in the way. Okay, so we have 2 log of C plus 3 log of K. So let's combine each of these. So for the 2 log C, this portion, that becomes log C to the power of 2. So log C squared. And then we have a plus. And then for the 3 log of K, it's now log K to the power of 3. So that number that was multiplied in front, that number just becomes the exponent now. Okay, so once we've turned those multiplying numbers into an exponent, we just want to combine this even further, double checking first of all that they have the same base. They do, they are both base 10. And so since they have the same base, then we can combine these two. So when they're being added, the log base 10 of C squared plus log base 10 of K cubed, when they're being added, it means you can multiply the values together. So we have log c squared k cubed. So we just take, I'll just circle it. We'll just take these two values and we're going to multiply them together to give us that. Okay, any questions on this one? Okay, so let me type it in. So, oh, sorry. But notice once again that they typed the log for you, so you only have to type c squared k cubed. So don't type the log again because they typed it for you, okay? And then submit. And then let's do another problem. Let me scroll down a little bit actually. Okay, so same idea. Log d, we can just leave it as log d for now. So I'm just gonna write log d, log of d plus, okay, so this 8 log of q, that now becomes log of q to the power of 8. So that 8 in the front got moved to become an exponent. Now finally, these are being added, so that means we want to multiply those values. So log of d times q to the power of 8. All of this is inside the log now. So since they were being added, our two logs are being added, the values get multiplied. So that's our final answer. I'm going to go type it in. dq to the power of 8. And then any questions? Submit. Next problem. Let's do 2 more. Okay. So log a, we can just leave it as log a. Log of a plus, okay, 6 log of r becomes log of r to the power of 6. And then finally, double check these have the same base. They are both base 10. Then it can now become log base 10 of a times r to the power of 6. Since they're being added, we simply multiply these values. So it's a times r to the power of 6. So I'm going to type a r to the power of 6. This is our final answer. I'll give you guys a few moments to write or ask questions. One more. Okay, so d log of a becomes log of a to the power of d minus 3 log c becomes log of c to the power of 3. And now since they are being subtracted, that means you don't want to multiply. You want to take those values and you want to divide them. The one that goes on top is the one in the front, so a to the power of d. That's our numerator. And on the bottom, it's the one that was in the end, so c cubed. So this is your final answer. Oops. This is your final answer. Let me type it in. A to the power of d all over c to the power of 3. Okay, I'll give you guys a chance to write or ask questions. Submit. And that's it for this category. Let's go on to the next one.